Taurus.
Welcome, Taurus. This is your astrological forecast for April 2016. And so what we have here now this month is all about you cocooning a little bit. Now, last month in March, you had the total solar eclipse in the area of your chart for hopes and dreams. Okay, so it might have already now put you on that fast lane, hoping now to reach for and accomplish some of those dreams. However, the Sun, Mercury, Uranus, and the new moon is in your 12th house, cocooning. I like to call the 12th house for a cocoon because it's when we want to pull back a little bit. Why? Well, because the Sun and the other planets have been transiting throughout the whole chart, expending all this energy, and now we're powering up, recharging that battery so that we're good to go here next month, which is your birth month, when the Sun, Mercury will be coming into that first house. But right now, here, the 12th house is lit up. Venus is currently in Pisces, but will be joining the crowd here after that first week of April. But the first week, while it's in Pisces, well, think about Pisces being very creative, spiritual, and so forth, gentle, romantic. So all of March seems to have been very, very romantic and creative for you. But then even she will go within a little bit, and you'll just find yourself wanting to curl up with a book, not really feeling like you'd like to work too much. But it's the subconsciousness now that is programming, reprogramming, extracting and filling in everything so that you're ready and fit to fight as you come into your birth month next month. We have Mars is currently in the sign of Sagittarius, and that's a fire sign, and Mars is very fiery in itself. So put the two of them together. This is where your dynamic focus will be this month, the 8th house, having to do with you and your partner's shared resources, the money that you have together. How has it been managed? How do you want to continue to manage it? There might be some, not just talks, but maybe you getting in touch with your accountant. It could be an investment broker, banker, that kind of thing, so that you can more so now try to streamline this area of your life. Now, Mars only comes here once every other year. So whatever you put in your foundation now should last you for the next 2 years. And so go back. What have you accomplished these last 2 years? Are you happy with it? Let it roll. If it hadn't been doing too much for you, this is the time to go in and mix it up a bit. Now, the universe is giving you an extended period here to do so, because Mars will be retrograding later in the month, not before the 18th, but will be throughout that of June 29th. And so, and then of course it's going to take time to pick up speed again and then continue through your 8th house. So you probably have to, like July, August, to really look at your financial wealth, okay? And for you being a Taurus, you might love this, okay? Because it's going to work for you better than people most. And we also have Saturn in your 8th house. Now, Saturn is currently retrograde, will be to late summer there. So when the two of them work together, Saturn's all about structure. It's you mastering your life path. And your life path right now that you're really learning from has to do with 8th house issues. Intimacy situations between you and your partner, because it is the house of Scorpio, which really relates deeply. It also deals with trust and trust issues. How deeply do you trust your partner, vice versa? Those things can come up. But also, being in the sign of Sagittarius, while Sag loves to travel, it might want to invest in areas that has to do with travel or anything that there's a lot of movement in. Sagittarius also loves horses, so you could see that it might even tie in to pets in that sense. But then again, big pets. Jupiter has been cruising through your 5th house in summer of 2015. Still here, Taurus. And Jupiter is full of abundance. It is a giving planet. Think about the size of Jupiter, right? So your ambitions here in the 5th house, if you have your own business, Jupiter is trying to expand this. It is retrograde, will be until next month, May 10th. Then it will pick up speed, go direct again. But for those of you who have your own business and you're self-employed, this is such a great time of the 12 years for business. The other placement would be when it's going through the 10th house. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, we got 5 years before that's going to happen. So you want to make the most between now and summer to see how you can grow here in a very joyous way. Let's start top of the month, Taurus, the Sun, which is you, and that's Saturn in the 8th. We have a trine, which is a very harmonious aspect. It's you looking from the 12th house to the 8th house. How can I secure my wealth? So you're taking charge. That's what Saturn does. It takes charge, takes responsibility, it owns up to things. And so when we have a harmonious aspect, there could be some good news here on the 5th for you. On the 7th, we have the new moon. It's in your 12th house. Do write yourself that abundance check. And it's also the time when we place our intentions. So the intentions here for the 12th house is to promise yourself that throughout the year until the next new moon, which is a year from now, to really now sense and feel how good it is to cocoon, to rest, put your feet up a little bit, because you tend to get so busy and so focused, throughout the rest of the year that you may not always make that room for yourself. That should be a part of your intention this month. Then we have some unexpected news coming in on the 9th. This is the Sun and Uranus. And with Uranus, we never know. It is like the Pandora box opening up, right? And this conjunction will be taking place also in that 12th house. And since it is the subconscious area, your higher self area, you might just come to this epiphany or receive a vision. It's also dreams, right? In this 12th house. So pay attention to what that can be, because it can really open up something really super strong, powerful, and important to you. And especially because the new moon was there, so the new moon is conjunct that Uranus. So I feel anytime between the 7th and 9th is very magical dates for you. Talk about magic, let's talk about romantic magic. We have the 12th, Taurus, circle that on your calendar. We have Venus, the power of love, and we have Mars, which is your drive and passion. They're coming together also in 120 degrees aspect, which is a trine. And we have a lot of those trines this month. So it's going to be a super smooth, beautiful month where we can just really take in, experience, and enjoy. So when Venus and Mars get together, sure, we have relationship energy at its highest, but Venus also rules money and Mars rules action. So it could also be a money-related situation here. This would be between your 12th and 8th house as well. So you could see how we're talking about this 12th house and how super important this window of opportunity will be for you. On the 14th, Taurus, Mercury, the messenger, is coming here relating news or a message from Jupiter. Think about Jupiter. It's very generous, right? It's abundant. So great news here on the 14th. Jupiter coming from the 5th. It could be great news about from one of your children. It could be some of you might be pregnant. If you're getting married at this time, it's a blessing. So whatever the deal is, it could also just be news from afar, since Jupiter rules foreign countries and faraway places. On the 17th, another message coming here with Mercury, this time from Pluto. Pluto is in your 9th house, which has to do with higher thinking, education, philosophy. It rules publishing. If you're giving courses, teaching. It could also be travel, foreign countries and people and so forth. All of this here is now lit up with great energy from Mercury. If you're looking for a green card, you might get a green light here on this day. for example. So this is also something that you really want to pay attention to, along with what's following it right behind it. Because once you have this news from Jupiter, Pluto, here comes Saturn, which is really going to give you a lot of grounding. It's like putting the anchor out, this time from Venus, love or money coming in, really wanting to secure something that you've been working at for a long, long time. And I feel if you have any investments out, you might see that they might rise. There could also be, if there's inheritance, this could also be a green light for things coming this way if you've been waiting for things. And then also on the 19th though, don't get too discouraged, but there is a little to-do situation. And hardly do we ever get through a month without there being a Murphy's Law coming around. But it's just a situation where you won't probably see eye to eye with somebody. Pluto can create power struggles, and you just want to try to avoid that because it's a fast-moving transit, so you don't really need to get into it too deeply. It might linger there for a day or two, and if it's a relationship thing where Venus is involved, well then you have that. But Venus also rules money. So here's all that good news that you just received, and here's a situation. And I would just say, tell whoever's involved that you want to think about it for a day or two. Just pull back, because already on the 22nd you should find that key that will unlock and give you whatever result or answer that you're looking for, because Uranus is coming to the rescue with a very untraditional, unconventional solution. And so that should really brighten your day. The 22nd, we really love that too here, Taurus, and it is because we got that full moon, and the full moon this month for you is really going to be illuminating your relationship sector. So this is also a time to have a romantic night out, go do something special, or just allow yourself to feel how you're going to be filled with these deeper emotions here. It is in the sign of Scorpio, so sure, that's why I'm saying deep. It is passionate too. But before I let you go, we do have some retrogrades this month. I did mention Mars from the 18th of April through June 29th. That will be in your 8th house. Okay, so we're talking about wealth, money, and so forth being looked over. On the 19th, we have Pluto. Pluto retrogrades very, very slowly because it moves so slowly in the solar system. So that's from the 19th straight through September 26th. And that Pluto's in your 9th house. Okay, so any kind of long distance communication or also studies and so forth, you might feel that this is going to slow down. But since it is an outer planet, don't really notice it very much so on a day-to-day level, except for when Pluto is transited, right? Then it really triggers it. Then we have Mercury. It's time again here this year for it to do its 3 to 3.5 week retrograde. It will take place on the 29th. It will then be in your 1st house, so you will get a dip in there first when it's going direct, and then it's going to turn around, go back into your 12th house, just to kind of tie up all loose ends there with what was taking place earlier in the month. So just don't sign anything unless you have to, and if you must, well, the show must go on, right? So do that, and then listen to your Tauroscopes just to get a little bit different insight of what you can now expect here in April as well. So they're all online, and I will see you next month in May. Have a good one. Bye now.